All right, so I recently reviewed the Adidas ULTRABOOST 5, but then they actually released the 5X, which is a really interesting thing. Honestly, I don't know necessarily why they did what, but Adidas actually sent this pair over to me. A big shout out to them because I was very interested in seeing the difference between the 5s and the 5Xs because they look very, very similar. So I'll give you guys a couple small differences between these two models, but primarily they are very, very much the same. The midsole, outsole is pretty much the meat and potatoes of this thing, and that is where everything is the same on both pairs. Now, the reason why this is confusing is because the 5s actually are the ones that launched originally for members only on Adidas website. And then when the launch actually happened, these were nowhere to be found. After I did my video, I realized I saw some comments that said, hey, that link is to the 5X. I want to see the 5s. And I was like, wait a minute. So I'm not sure exactly why they changed things up, but they did change things up. And so in this video, I wanted to show you guys the differences between the 5s and the 5Xs. I also did just recently go to Hawaii and I came back. I actually wore these as my primary for most of the trip. So I actually wore these on the plane and then wore these out and about through the mall and everything else. So I had a good chance to be able to wear these and see how they are overall. So this is kind of like follow-up after wearing the Adidas ULTRABOOST 5X. And so let's go and get into the video. So the retail price of the Adidas ULTRABOOST 5X is $180, same as on the 5s when they were on the site. And they do fit true to size in my opinion. I'm a 9.5 and I'm happy with my 9.5. Some of the features for the 5Xs are, these are road running shoes and they have a regular width. They say they weigh 9.7 Gs and then they are 10 mm heel to toe. Also, almost 100 reviews give these a 4.8 stars out of 5. And these are really running shoes. And the original Adidas ULTRABOOST was actually a running shoe as well, primary, but secondary, it really picked up on the market for people that are just wanting to wear them casually. And I feel like this is a great evolution of the Adidas ULTRABOOST line where yes, this is a running shoe, but it can be worn casually, as I kind of mentioned in my review of the 5 already, if you haven't seen it. Now, if you guys do want to buy a pair of these, I will link them in the description of the video. Feel free to check that out. And if you guys do use my links, it gives me a little bit of a kickback. And it lets Adidas know that you guys support the channel. It's greatly appreciated when you do that. It helps me out tremendously, so I can't thank you enough. There's also a bunch of different colors on the website on this model as well. And I actually really like this black one. I like the white one as well. So a couple words from what Adidas says about the product. It says, chasing new PRs feels easier in these Adidas running shoes. Our lightest boost yet delivers continual energy return across the miles so you feel fresh from start to finish. Add the torsion system between the heel and the forefoot for stability, and you get a smooth, steady stride no matter how far or fast you go. It all rides on Continental Rubber outsole for secure transaction in wet and dry conditions to keep you confident on your feet. So again, I wore these on vacation in Hawaii, and some of the things I like or dislike about the shoes, just from wearing them overall, I would say they're pretty comfortable. I could wear them with socks or without. Honestly, some people don't like to wear them without socks, I get it, but I did wear them a couple times without socks and they're totally comfortable. I like that the midsole is comfortable. You definitely have a nice amount of forefoot cushioning in these things. And overall, I like the width of the shoe as well. Somebody with a little bit of a wider foot. I like the width in the forefoot section and the fact that the material is a little bit softer so you can kind of wiggle your toes, as I mentioned. The cushioning in general is really nice. I wanted something with a little bit more like of a firm feel, a little bit more ground feel. They have a nice heel-toe transition when you're walking around in them as well. And overall, I felt like I had a nice pair with nice added stability. Just an overall pair of shoes that treated my feet well, but also the fact that these felt pretty light on feet. Like they're just right around 10 ounces, which is perfect. The only thing I would want to change about the ULTRABOOST 5X is the tongue. I do wish that it had the original style tongue with a little bit more padding there, or just having it like be a detached tongue that's a little bit thinner, just so you can have a little bit of extra room here, a little bit extra give, because this is a little bit snug overall on the top of my foot, which does have its benefits. Obviously, the extra lockdown makes the shoe a lot more secure on your foot, just naturally without having to tie your laces. And then also, you know, that adds to the stability. But I do like having just the overall luxury of just wearing them more relaxed. So that's my only suggestion to Adidas and other brands out there as well. Make two versions of the shoe. Make an integrated version that has like the lockdown like this for those people that want that, but make the same exact version with the same makeup with just a detached tongue. If companies actually did do that, I mean, they offer regular and wide versions. I feel like they should offer attached or semi-gusseted tongues as well, like where they're half attached and then the tongue is looser. That would make this a grand slam for me. Honestly, it would be like my favorite ULTRABOOST that they have had to date if they did that. But those are just my overall thoughts after wearing them. Honestly, though, lots of pros about the shoe, from the grip to the breathability, the structure of the upper, the weight, the bouncy, you know, responsiveness of the heel, and the midfoot feel as well. All things that are pretty positive. I'm happy that I was able to give them a try and wear them in Hawaii. So side by side, what is the difference between these two, the 5 and the 5X? They do look very similar, but if you look a little bit closer, you notice the kind of the OG style cage on the regular 5s. And then on the 5Xs, you could see that it's more integrated in. You do have some plastic panels for the laces, and then the 3 stripes are actually separate. But on the 5s, you could see that they're very much like the originals. In fact, they're so much like the originals, you can do the OG hype piece lacing, if you guys know what I'm talking about. shout out to you guys. That's basically when you lace through the cage as well all the way up, and then you can just wear them casually and loose. It's honestly the best way to wear them, and I'm surprised I haven't relaced these myself. You cannot do that on the 5X, but that doesn't mean these are not as good, if not better, than the 5s. So primarily that is the big difference between these two models. Supposedly the 5Xs are a little bit lighter. I'll check that in just a second. But the main reason why I think that the 5Xs are actually a better purchase is because of that cage. There is a little bit of a wing section up at the very top, and some people do find a little annoyance here where this digs into your ankle. You have to be really bending over in a weird position for it to honestly dig into your ankle, and you would have to be wearing no-shows as well. I tried to make it hurt just as an example, and I was like, okay, yeah, I could see potentially it could be something that digs at your ankle a little bit, but most people are not going to have that problem. So if you just like the aesthetics of the 5s better, understandable, but I think that you're not going to have that problem on the 5Xs because of the integration of the cage. Now, let's go ahead and check the weight, because supposedly these are a little bit lighter. I don't know if that's true. These are 9.9 ounces for my men's 9.5, and then the other one is 10.6 ounces. So that's actually pretty crazy. That is 0.7 ounces lighter for the 5X version. I did not expect that. The rest of the stuff is pretty much the same. I would say the upper looks the same in general. The heel tab on the back, the cage for support, all looks pretty much the same. The midsole looks very much the same as well. You have light boost in the midsole. On the outsole, you do have the torsion system in the middle, just the same as well. It does have the Continental grip on the bottom as well for the extra traction, and the laces look the same, and they do have the same lockdown where you do have like that sock-like sort of fit. Now the upper is really nice. In this version, the toe box section is very, very soft and very malleable as well. You can like wiggle your toes in here. It reminds you of the original ones. That original feeling was great. And then the same experience on the 5Xs as well. So as I mentioned in my review of the 5s, these are very much like the Adidas ULTRABOOST 19s and 20s, but like a really, really nice refined version, kind of a nice evolutionary step of the 1920s instead of like the ULTRABOOST Lights. And so I actually tried all of them on side by side to see if this was actually more comfortable than what my thoughts were on the original ones, just because it's nice to be able to actually try them on and compare, because what you think they were comfort-wise and the reality of what they are in 2024, which is a super foam era, like there's so many incredible pairs of sneakers this year. So how did this stack up to the other ones? I will tell you my experience is that these are more comfortable and softer and have better cushioning than any of the previous Adidas ULTRABOOST. That includes the lights from last year, the 19s, the 20s, and the originals as well. Like this is the best version of the Adidas ULTRABOOST that we've actually had released, in my opinion, from trying on the previous versions and then trying these on. It is pretty remarkable how they feel on feet. Now, is it the softest and squishiest thing on the market? No, not even close. Like Adidas already has tons of other things that are softer and squishier for your feet than these. They have things that are lighter, like the SL2s. I did a review on those. Those are amazing, and they are pretty soft on feet as well. I would say overall softer on feet than these, and those are $130. You also do have the Adistar 3s I did a video on. Those are incredibly soft and squishy on feet comparison to these as well, and those are also $130. So you have some really soft options on your feet, but softer doesn't always mean necessarily better. And I think that we're at a place right now in the sneaker market where some of the stuff is just too soft. It might be a little bit unstable because it's too soft. Sometimes you have something that's just too firm and people don't like that as well. I feel like this is the perfect shoe kind of in the middle, which is why I think this one crosses over to the lifestyle really well, because you have a nice balance. It's soft, it's nice, it is responsive as well because it does have the light boost in the midsole, and you do have the most amount of boost in the forefoot that we've seen on the ULTRABOOST in any of the models thus far. So the comfort is definitely there. It's not super crazy soft like the 1080 V13s from New Balance or anything like that, but some people don't like that soft squishy feel, and for those people that want just a well-balanced one-stop shop that you could wear all day and not have too much squishiness underneath, I think that this is the gold champion for you guys. I think this is one of the best ones that Adidas has released, which just says a lot because you have many, many years of Adidas ULTRABOOST, and it's nice to see a fun, different evolution of the Adidas ULTRABOOST. Evolution is definitely the key word there, and I think the reason why these are called the Adidas ULTRABOOST 5 is because it's the 5th version of the Adidas ULTRABOOST, and let me rephrase that. So originally you had the Adidas OG, like the Adidas ULTRABOOST 1.0, then you have the 2.0, 3, 4, 5, and 6.0, and those are all different knit patterns on the uppers, but the midsoles and the outsoles are primarily the same. So that's the first version, I guess. Then you have the Adidas ULTRABOOST 19, then you have the 20. All right, so I failed to mention that they also have the Adidas ULTRABOOST 21 and 22. I don't know why I forgot those, so I don't know what I'm saying. Apparently this doesn't check out. I don't know why it's called the 5. If you guys know, leave a comment, let me know. And then you have the Adidas ULTRABOOST Light, from last year, and now you have the Adidas ULTRABOOST 5 and 5X for 2024. So I believe that's why they call it the 5. It's kind of confusing because you have 6 versions of the Adidas ULTRABOOST 1. So I think that's kind of where they got the naming convention. So comparison again to the 5s, the 5X is lighter, as you saw, 0.07 ounces lighter. And then also you do have an integrated cage, which does make it lighter, obviously, because you don't have as much plastic usage on this. This is the model that they're pushing out. It's definitely the model that we're seeing on Adidas website, and it's definitely the model I think you should give a try if you haven't tried them yet. Some people are going to wait for them to go on sale later in the year. I'm sure that will happen at some point eventually. Obviously though, if you want to be kind of like an early adopter and have the pair now, then you can get them linked in the description. But if you guys do want to wait later in the year or next year when they do go on sale, because eventually they'll go on sale after time, just like all of the other previous versions, I will post links to them on Instagram and Twitter and stuff. So if you don't follow me on social, feel free to do so. What do you guys think about the Adidas ULTRABOOST 5X? Something you guys are interested in or not? If you guys actually already got a pair of them, leave a comment in the comment section. What do you guys like about and dislike? Curious to see your guys' thoughts. Always appreciate your guys' feedback. Anyways, we'll leave it at that. Thank you guys for stopping by and watching. Hopefully this video was somewhat informative to you guys. If you guys missed my original video, go check that one out as well. And hopefully we'll see you back on the channel for some more content soon. All right, peace guys.